what is the actual process of healing? So there was many years that I spent about 6 years ago where I was deeply depressed and I knew that I needed to heal myself. And I was listening to every podcast. I was listening to so many different people, reading different books, watching different articles, just trying to understand what it meant to heal and how I'm supposed to heal myself. Right. And this led me on a huge journey. I went to Peru and did ayahuasca and I was just trying to heal myself. And I had a beautiful experience there. And I'll make other videos specifically about that. But that whole experience of being in the jungle and doing like 5 ceremonies with the plant medicine, it didn't heal me. Yeah, I experienced some level of healing. It helped like reset my nervous system. And there were certain things I experienced, yeah, that were definitely beneficial, but I didn't energetically transform. And that's what healing really is it's a permanent energetic shift from one state to another. The way that Rachel teaches, and she's who I've been learning from for the past 4 years about how to really heal myself, is she likes to explain if you have an ice cube and you take that ice cube and you drop it in a pot of boiling water, it's going to change energy state. Okay. So it's going from one energy state to another energy state. And that energy state, that transformation is permanent. And that is what actual healing is. So it's taking a part of you that is trapped, stuck, vibrating at a certain low frequency. Let's just say, for example, shame. There's a part of me that I feel shameful for, and it's learning how to energetically change the energetic state of that shame into a higher vibration. So that's the process of healing. That's what it actually means. Now, where I got stuck for many years was just reading about it and then doing breath work and meditation and cold showers and exercise. And I was doing my best to try and heal. But the truth is, I did not actually know what that meant. I didn't actually know what that was. I didn't know what true transformational healing was. I was doing my best. It was, I was having a go. I really was. I was really trying. I was trying to understand what the hell was going on with me, why I felt the way that I did, why I was so deeply depressed. But I didn't actually, I was following so many different people saying the self-love practice and do your affirmations and your gratitude journal and stop, breathe and do breath work. I did so much breath work for like 3 years. Oh my God, I was huffing and puffing. I was like Humpty Dumpty. Oh, was that Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall? Oh, whatever. I was huffing and puffing so much. Doing Wim Hof over and over again. And yeah, did I have some interesting experiences and did it raise my level of consciousness to understand that through my breath I could change my physiology? Yes. I did experience all of that. But did I actually experience transformational healing from doing breath work, from going and doing plant medicine in the jungle, from spending hours and hours and hours meditating? No. None of that actually transforms anything. It doesn't. And if you're listening to somebody that tells you you do, well, okay, your choice who you listen to. I've been there, I've done that, I've tried it. It doesn't transform you. What transforms you is your own ability to connect to the divine power that you are. It's actually feminine energy which transforms, not masculine energy. A lot of breath work, yoga was invented by men for men to help cultivate energy for long periods of meditation. Breath work, again, is a man thing. Force, force, force. These are men practices to push, 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 and force, force, force energy around the body. It's not the same as tapping into the feminine nature that we all are, oneness, activating that within you, allowing that to come on. Now, feminine energy has been squashed on this planet for a very particular reason. And Rachel teaches in lengths about this. So if you haven't yet checked her out, go to YouTube, check out mastersofselfuniversity.com. It's where I'm a coach at. And you can learn more about her in-depth teachings. But to keep it simple for this quick video is feminine energy has been squashed. And my feminine energy, whilst it was some degree online, it was very, very squashed because I've grown up in this world. And through learning her work, what actual transformational healing was or is, I allowed my feminine energy to come back online. So how do we do that? How do we actually activate our feminine energy? Well, we've got to be willing and devoted. They're the two things she told me right at the beginning. Become willing, become devoted, follow the practice, do the work, apply it to your life, integrate, learn, grow. And I did that. And all you have to do is learn how to effectively connect to your own heart. Now, it's easy to say that, but in practice, I read so many times, oh, you just have to just love yourself. That's what heals you. You heal you. I read that so many times. But there wasn't anybody out there actually teaching me the step-by-step process to energetically activate my heart and then infuse that into what's causing me suffering, pain. To allow that process of alchemy, that permanent transformation of one energy state into another energy state, taking something that's vibrating very low in our level of consciousness and raising its vibration. This is the power of our heart. Greg Braden talks about this all of the time. The power of our heart, the healing power of our heart. There's a whole institute, the Heart Math Institute, that will study this scientifically. I'm not here to do those studies. I don't need to. The study that I'm interested in is my own life. My own life is my own study. That's where I do my research. I don't do it in a lab. I do it inside of my own heart. I do it in the coaching sessions that I'm part of. I do it in class when other elevated enlightened beings like Rachel are guiding me to energetically raise my vibration. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what it says in a study when I know how to do this for myself. That's true education. And that's what we as MSU are here to bring to the world, is learning how to actually heal for real. Not just think you know what healing is, to actually heal for real. And that's something that I only learned about once I experienced it myself. Experience is when we're starting to embody wisdom. We're getting out of the spiritual knowledge and we're actually embodying what it is we're talking about. So when it comes to healing, changing our energy state, once we've experienced this shift, going from shame to what the way of unconditional love actually is, loving that part of you from a very low, worthless, inferior, whatever the shame is, shameful vibration, embracing, going energetically into the part of us that feels that way, embracing it with the love that we are, nurturing it, giving it what it needs, what it missed. And this is what healing normally is there was a part of us that's fractured off for some reason from our childhood, or maybe our adult life. It doesn't matter when it was. But this part of us, for whatever reason, is fractured or fragmented off. And we're doing the work energetically to go in and find that part, to open it up, to bring often feminine energy in. Sometimes it's more the stability and the safety, that the masculine energy that needs to be there to allow for the feminine part of us, which has been squashed out of us so effectively by this patriarchal world, to allow that to open back up so we can again once experience the oneness, the expansiveness, the feminine nature that we all are, the power that we are. Our power all lies within our heart. And you may read in many different books, it's all within you. It is, but here's the key, here's the trap. If you just go around saying that, like I did 5 years ago, oh, it's all within you, and you haven't actually done the energetic work to find out what that truly means, you're still trapped in your mind. You're so far away from transformation. You wouldn't even believe it. And this was me. And I wanted to coach. I even did coach people from a level that I hadn't even experienced something from yet. That was me. And I look back now, it was very unintegrous. And my intentions, my good intentions were there. I really wanted to help people. But energetically, I had not become the unconditional love, the safety, the connection, the trust that was needed or is needed to allow for actual transformation to occur. This happens beyond the level of mind and intellect. It happens on a quantum energetic level. And it begins with transformational healing. It begins with, we have to start to, one, start connecting to our heart and know what that means. And two, start to awaken to the programs that we run. Because it's these programs and these wounds that are in there that keep us trapped and disconnected. Now, how do we actually go from a place of, okay, well, because this was me in talk therapy, right? I went to talk therapy for over a year. I know that I messed up from, my parents' divorce when I was 6. But how do I actually go from the place of knowing that I'm messed up, I need help, I'm trying to heal myself, trying to love myself, I think I'm doing it, I think I'm spiritual, I think I'm awakening, to actually becoming? How do I actually do that? Because this is where I was trapped. What does it actually mean to heal for real? It isn't just learning about, oh yeah, well, I've got to take, this shame and I've got to energetically infuse it with the light that I am, which is all true. I've got to change its level of consciousness by raising its vibration to a higher frequency. That's true. None of that matters if it just stays right there at the level of mind. If you listen to this video and it just stays right there. The only true way is to be guided energetically, and this is why I coach people through this work, how to become that for themselves. And this is what I learned. Now, the old earth is, you have to come to me. You got to come to the healer, the guru, so that we can heal you and fix you. That's all out. That's the old world. Get rid of it. No. Well, that's not coming to the new earth. The new earth is, come experience this from yourself and learn how to do it on your own. This is literally the process I went through. Came to somebody who could already do this thing that I wanted to achieve, which in that moment was to become a coach and to heal myself. Now, not everyone needs to be a coach in the world. Not everyone should be a coach in the world. But everyone should heal themselves. 100%. Everybody should be becoming the divine soul that they came to be in this lifetime. To become that, you must heal. It's that simple. You're experiencing lack in your life. You're experiencing scarcity. You've not got enough money. Heal yourself. You're experiencing a poor relationship. You're experiencing, not deep friendships and not deep connections in your life. Heal yourself. You're experiencing, okay, you're not perfectly taking off in your career. Well, what programs of self-worth are under there that are maybe blocking you? Or lack of patience for the way things that are running? Or lack of ability to surrender and trust the universe as you surrender your control and heal all your programs of powerlessness? Heal yourself. But you have to actually know what that means. It doesn't come from just watching this YouTube video. I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of people that talk about healing on YouTube and they'll make it very simple and easy, and that's because it is. It is really simple and easy. But do you actually energetically know what that feels like? It's like if we're all stood on the edge of a pond or a lake and we're all talking about what it's like to go in and swim. Different to us getting in the water together and showing you how to actually swim. Move your arms like this. Feel that. Feel the water underneath you. As you do this stroke, feel your body's natural inclination to move this way. Allow the wisdom of your body to guide you. Allow the wisdom of your heart to open. This is an energetic experience that we must choose to do. And that's why the university exists. It's education that happens on the energetic level. The energetic level is beyond the level of mind. Anyone that tells you your mind is so powerful, they haven't tapped into the true power of their being. The mind is just the employee to the soul that you came here to be. And when you connect that power That's what then infuses into your life. And that's the energy that heals you. And unless you're following somebody that teaches you how to connect to your own internal divine power and that energy in which you come from, the creation source of all, the oneness of all, unless you're learning how to activate that from within inside yourself and infuse it into your life and integrate it. Now, the key here is integration, because if we move through this process of changing the energy state from one state to another, and then something in our life reactivates that energy and we fall back straight into the old pattern, disregarding the energy work we've just done, we've lacked integration. It's like if I'm making a new garden and I plant a new flower and I just leave it and just expect that it's just going to grow without making sure no weeds overtake it, or making sure that it's watered every day, making sure that it's getting the right, not too much sunlight, not too much shade. We can't just expect that it's going to flourish and grow into a magnificent plant and garden. We have to attend to it. And that goes for the same of our integration of our process of healing. We can't just expect that we do this one session and that's it. I'm healed. Get real. All of yourself, all of your personality is built up from your programs. They don't want to die. They have their own consciousness. They're itching to come back on and be alive. So if you did some beautiful work to start to transform an aspect of your shadow, best believe it, there's going to be a deeper part of that that may show up shortly after you move through an incredible healing. Why? So you're tested to see, are you going to fall back into that same pattern? The true actual transformation doesn't happen in that single moment. It does, and at the same time, happens when we repeat this process again and again and again and again until we completely change the pathways of our old way of being and we elevate to an entirely new level of consciousness. Now, Rachel talks about 3 levels of octaves, 3 octaves higher. Once you elevate out of 3 octaves on an energetic level, out of the pain and suffering, the programs that you once ran, into a higher level of consciousness, then that is when we're starting to experience an entirely new reality. And we're actually sinking into what permanent true transformation is, what healing actually is. We're bringing a part of us that is in pain back into wholeness. We're remembering what we are, remembering the wholeness that we came from. But to do that, we actually have to do the work on ourselves. And usually, like, you can get so much from YouTube, but you have to actually do the energetic work. And that means finding somebody to guide you. This is literally what I did. I found somebody that I could tell was speaking truth and was like, damn, this person's on the money. Rachel, I can tell you're on the money. I can tell where you're speaking from. You have been there. You have been to the depths of the depression that I know that I feel. And I know you know how to get me out of this. Why? Because I can feel within you that you've been there too. And you no longer vibrate there. I can feel that. Our world is so addicted to mind. But slowly in this huge great awakening, we are becoming heart-centered feeling beings. We have to feel. It's part of our divine nature. And when we don't feel, that's when we're severed from our divinity. It's allowing ourselves to feel the true nature of our being, the oneness that we are. That's where the transformation happens. And when we can bring that to the programs, to the wounding, to the pain, that's what creates the alchemical shift, changing from one state to another, from a low vibration to a high vibration. It's as simple as connecting to your heart and your divinity and bringing it online to the part of you that didn't have it in that moment. The part of you that was a kid that was looking up to mom and dad for validation, that needed validation, and reminding that part of you, you can validate your own pain. You don't need their validation. You need the love that you are. This is a healing I moved through today. This is as real as it gets. I was in the certification program with some of our new students being coached. And there was an aspect of me that was showing up in need of somebody's love. I just wanted somebody's love. It was beyond want. I needed their validation. I needed their love. That was a part of me that showed up today that we worked on. And once I was able to energetically connect to that part of me and see that that was in there and that I didn't feel good enough to receive that, and then realizing that love is actually inside of me. And boom, when I energetically arrived there, a huge expansion opened up in my chest. The energy started completely shifting. Or I was having all of these tingles flood throughout my body, like energy just shooting through, and just a massive expansion in my heart, and especially my solar plexus, because this was a lot about powerlessness, this particular wound, about me not being able to speak up. So when I was able to recognize there is a part of me that actually feels like I need love right now, but actually what I need is to remember the love that I am, and not just say those words, but to actually embody that and feel it, that's where the transformation starts to happen. And the way that I've been able to walk this path and be on this journey is because I'm a student. I'm a student of the ways. I'm a student of Rachel's. I'm a student at MSU. I get coached regularly, but I also do this work on myself. That's the point of MSU, is to learn actually how to heal yourself. Again, this goes back to where we started. If we're not actually changing our energetic state permanently, shifting from a lower vibration, transforming that to a high vibration, we're not actually permanently healing. And if I'm looking for that healing constantly outside of myself, and there is a part of me showing up that needs you to love me, to heal me, that, even if I've experienced at some point around this wound in the past receiving healing, if I've not truly elevated to embodying the fact that I actually am the love that I'm seeking, I don't need you, and I'm not doing the work on my own, I'm not actually truly healing for real. I'm stuck in the old earth, waiting for somebody, mom, dad, a guru, a healer, a doctor, a GOV, or whatever GOV meant to make me feel better. In that moment, I'm in separation, I'm in severance consciousness. It's when I can truly embody the power, the love that I am, and infuse that into the pain. That's where the magic happens. That's what true transformational healing is. And it isn't enough to just move through that experience once. It's about now applying this to every time this energy shows up. Oh my God, it's showing up right now. Let me drop in, connect to the power that I am, grow in my divine power in real time, remember the truth of what I am, and allow that energy to infuse into what it is that I'm doing. Healing isn't always this isolated moment behind closed doors. It's about then applying it and integrating it into our everyday life so we can actually truly become what an enlightened being is. We're throwing in the trash this idea that enlightenment is you on top of a mountain, and we're embracing the fact that enlightenment can be as simple as you being a librarian, or you being a bartender, or you being a chiropractor. It's about me as an individual becoming the most enlightened, meaning bringing the light that I am into my daily life as a human being, not escaping onto a mountain, not running away to some far distant place to be alone, not renouncing everything to be a guru, but to actually be a human being on this planet functioning in oneness 24/7. That's what the new earth will be, and we create it when we choose to become it.